I will get that situation.
Let him check out there for a minute. Yeah. Let's stop bothering him.
Did you see just the moment there? He was feeling confident. He's like, hey, this time I'm not on the golf course. I had some time to prepare. Yeah, Jake, they're not seeing the YouTube stream. Oh, okay, got to go.
There's a lot of stuff to line up.
There is. So the Drake Bulldogs, your Drake Bulldogs, played, was that 2 nights ago, got a road win. UNI and Iowa played last night to stay undefeated men's basketball. I just haven't turned the corner yet. I think I need a game of high interest to make me care more. I tried to do some casual watching. You into the basketball yet?
No, I've definitely watched some basketball. I think, it's the quality of the opponents. It's the time of the year. I think probably the right answer when next year when Andrew asks us that question for the 17th year in a row,
Right.
The right answer is after Thanksgiving, right? I think you have to get through the football season, get through the Thanksgiving holiday. There are, a handful of interesting games in total for us before that, maybe one for Iowa, one for Iowa State, one for Drake, one for UNI, but really there's not enough to get yourself past football and into basketball mode. You have to wait until, you get really December, I guess, probably December 1st, past Thanksgiving. And that's the right answer. That's when your mind shifts into basketball mode.
I think Hawkeye fans are interested just because of the change, the long-awaited change. And Ben McCullum, as they should have already known, but now can clearly see, can really coach the new players. So there's excitement there. But, man, SEMO, games like that, I just need a game against a quality opponent here pretty soon. Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines sets the table for today's sports and more. Coming up, So Long Seniors, Dillingham Plea, and One Word Perfection. One Word Perfection with Mr. Movie. That's from Guest House Tavern and Oyster. Nightly specials every Wednesday. Walleye Wednesday. If I'm not mistaken, that's today. Fresh walleye, salt and vinegar fries for $20. Right now, high or low since our last show.
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Get into the year end, there's all sorts of financial advice that's out there in on the social media stratosphere and out there in the ether. Everybody's talking about it, but just find somebody that you can really trust. Find somebody who knows what he's talking about and has your best interests in mind. Somebody like Tim Hawkins at Wealth Charter Retirement. You can find him at wealthcharterretirement.com and he'll get you all set. Man, I'm going low today for sure. I mean, just waking up right now is hard. When you have a gray and gloomy and kind of rainy morning and it's already kind of dark.
It does look like crap out there.
I looked out there and I was like, oh man, I don't want to go out in this. And you just have to kind of push yourself. And then I went to Farrell's to work out and you're driving through rain. And it's like there's a million excuses running through your head and why you just, let's just go back to bed for a few hours. Let's not get started. It's just too hard. That's tough. And knowing also that we've got months of this coming, right? Of darkness, sunset really early, cold, maybe some rain in there as well. You just have to kind of motivate yourself. It's hard.
Just some sunshine would be nice for me because for so long we lived in that Beaverdale home with a canopy of trees surrounding us and we didn't get much sun. And now we're in a place with a lot of windows and sun just comes in and brightens you up, makes you feel better, except on a day like this. You can't tell any difference. Like our little Chihuahua Teeny, she continues to hunt the spot where the sun's hitting on the carpet. Like she'll just keep moving. She's like a sundial just moving to the sun.
Crashes out in that spot.
Yeah, what was the movie a long time ago? Matt Dillon, I think it was called The Flamingo Kid, where there was one guy that was like a sundial. He kept turning with the tinfoil the whole day. You remember that?
I remember that vaguely. It wasn't a movie that I rewatched.
You didn't miss much. I'm going to go high here. It's a simple pleasure, but I got sent an advance copy of Heartland, Forgotten Place, Impossible Dream, The Miracle of Larry Bird. It's by Keith O'Brien, who just wrote the bestseller Charlie Hustle about Pete Rose. It was very good. And this is just about how the unlikely story of Larry Bird came to be, where he's at Indiana, but it's too big and bustling for him. He's just miserable. So he drops out of school.
He doesn't like Bob Knight either, right?
Doesn't like Bob Knight, doesn't like Indiana, thinks Bloomington is too big, and drops out, eventually ends up at Indiana State. And then the book is just about that unlikely Indiana State team that goes all the way to the championship game against Magic and Michigan State, undefeated. And Bird didn't shoot the ball too well in that game, but it's still, to this day, it's the most watched college basketball game in history. So this is a story that really looking forward to diving in and getting into that, the Hick from French Lick.
Most watched by number of people or by percentage of households?
I believe it's both, but the population has grown so much. Mm-hmm. I will look that up later and find out. It could be because the share.
I mean, percentage. There's no doubt, and I don't think that'll ever be broken.
No,
it's just
there are only three channels.
It's a different age, and I remember that time, right? I mean, you were just the entire nation. Sports Illustrated did. I mean, it came out once a week, and I think there were multiple covers on Larry Bird or Magic Johnson back then, and then the two of them. But the Larry Bird story is one that I think has gotten better and it's gotten a lot more energy since the advent of YouTube and Instagram Shorts, where or even just YouTube in general, where you can see these lengthy interviews with guys who played against him, played with him. Every now and then there's one with Bird himself, but usually it's not Bird himself talking about his career. It's somebody else that played against him, and they're talking about, all of these, Larry Bird, welcome to the NBA, you rookie bitch moment, right?
Right.
Where, Larry Bird, the best of Larry Bird trash talking, and Larry, it's titled Larry Bird, the greatest trash talker of all time. And you can go down a rabbit hole and probably stay in there for a week, just watching interesting interviews with his former opponents and teammates, and sometimes his teammates were his opponents. So I mean, it's fascinating to listen to. I love going back and watching that interview where David Letterman had Bird and Magic, well after they had retired, had them both on the set at the same time as they're telling these stories about each other, and it's just fascinating. I mean, I lived that, so it's maybe more interesting to
sure.
me, but it's just great sports history, like fascinating sports history.
And such a different time. I mean, one of the main themes as you go down that rabbit hole of interviews is just the doubt, understandably, given the context of the time, that black players had that he could really be that good. Like even his own teammate, Cornbread Maxwell, was like, I was just ready to teach him a lesson in the first practice he showed up at, and he just lit me up. I was like, man, damn, that boy can play. And many people had that kind of reaction. But yeah, a little YouTube short just on his passing is incredible. And now we're in this era where it is different now, in that we have several white players who happen to be from other countries that are among the NBA's 5 or 10 best players. Jake Brend is a big NBA fan. Jake, if I asked you to name the 5 best current players, not best over their careers, but best players right now, top 5, would any of your 5 be from the United States?
I don't think so.
How about that?
Jokic, Luka, Giannis, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Wemby, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty common top 5 right there, yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
The best
it
American
is.
players probably, and he's hurt. Both of them are hurt. It'd be Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton certainly in that conversation. Kevin Durant is still up there, but yeah, it's crazy how European and how international it's gone.
It is.
It is, and that's probably that's got to be a book. It's probably already out about where that started and you know what the real impetus was behind the spread. Is it the 88 Olympics or the 72 Olympics or something, or was something where it just, I mean, this was such an American game. I mean, just a totally American game. It wasn't played anywhere else. It was invented here.
Dream Team for sure had a big impact, and Kobe and Michael Jordan's
Well, but the Dream
international
Team
appeal.
was invented to beat the Europeans because we couldn't beat them straight up and down with
Right.
college players anymore. And we used to beat them so badly it wasn't even a contest. It wasn't even. I don't even think it was a popular thing to watch. But yeah, the Dream Team was a response to the explosive growth and of basketball in the other countries. But I mean, it's certainly gotten to the point where it's the biggest sport in China. NBA basketball is. In China, it is. I mean, it's really it's in every continent except Antarctica, and that's crazy because it's not soccer. I mean, first of all, it's something that's so uniquely American that I just you wonder why it would even appeal to people in other countries, but you know, certainly appeals to us, so it's not too hard to believe. But
Because our football has not caught on in other countries.
No.
There's some spectators now, and God knows Roger Goodell is trying to force the issue with all these international games.
yeah,
but
this wasn't the NBA that was. I mean, the NFL is pushing football,
Mhm.
right? I mean, the most powerful sports league in America is pushing football. The NBA hasn't pushed basketball, and they're not the reason that basketball is this popular. The NBA, I mean, this way precedes the NBA's heyday. I mean, this goes back to the 70s.
If you watch speaking of YouTube videos, you can dig up, watch a video of like Kobe Bryant showing up in an Asian country, and it's
yeah.
beyond anything the Beatles ever experienced. It's crazy. Let's get the buzz here now on a Wednesday.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
All right, so James Franklin is the new Virginia Tech job. It was believed by many that he was waiting to see if Florida State would make a move, and he'd rather have that job. But he does take the Virginia Tech job, which ACC job's going to be less challenging. His rep is he wins a lot but can't win the big game. He can get to the college football playoff at Virginia Tech. I think the most interesting thing here, though, is Penn State, due to the contract saying he needs to try to look for a job, and then if he does find a job, that contract will offset his buyout. So his buyout goes from $49 million to $9 million.
Which
Isn't that crazy?
it's a terrible business move. What's he
it's
doing?
not- Well, the Jimbo Fisher's contract did not have that offset clause in it, so we may never see Jimbo Fisher. He doesn't have to coach again. He got the whole $79 million or whatever it is. But James Franklin, he's got that that government clause there where did you do your best to find a job?
Yeah, like
this
Department
week,
of
James?
Department of Labor or something. Department of
Yes, I
Employment,
did.
where you
looked really hard.
Now, did you where you have to
I'm
go
trying to
interview? You have
Yeah,
to show
I'm
that
trying
you
to take a year
interviewed for
off.
3 jobs a week or something to keep just stay on the dole.
So is Penn State better off? We don't know yet. What will Penn State do? There's so many jobs out there and possibly more coming, probably more coming. Josh Pate thinks Penn State should go after Matt Campbell. Do we have Josh Pate? Jake?
Everything you would want in a Penn State coach he has. Here's what turns a lot of people off. And this is what's really stupid about this whole process. Matt Campbell sucks at promoting Matt Campbell because he doesn't really care to do it. If I changed nothing about that guy other than publicizing the head coaching jobs he has turned down, he would be viewed as a premium candidate for some of these jobs. It's not my business to float that. He can have his representation do it if he wants to, or if his representation's comfortable with it being done, then it could happen. Matt Campbell's been the guy for a number of the big openings over the past several years, and I'm firmly convinced that there is a subset of maybe the Penn State fan base that if they were equipped with nothing more than that information, would all of a sudden be totally open to Matt Campbell, because all of a sudden it's like, whoa, he was good enough for them? Maybe he is good enough for us.
Josh Pate's college football show there, it's a good show. What do you think? Is there a way to convince Penn State fans that maybe they should be interested in Matt Campbell? Would he be interested? Be hard not to at least give it a look at the salary that'll come with that job and the resources.
Well, I mean, I agree with him that, simply, telling Penn State fans which jobs, I don't know. I mean, Matt Campbell's not going to tell everybody which jobs he's been offered, and I don't know that Josh Pate knows that information anyway. I mean, who knows? We don't know which ones he's been offered. I mean, that's a big leap. It's a big leap from considered and offered. Right?
There is.
We don't know. I mean, you're going to offer somebody the job that this guy's under contract. I mean, that's a big deal. Could he work to get some of these jobs? I mean, I think, yeah, I'm sure, but I don't know what he's been offered, and I don't know how many people. I don't know how much solid information is actually out there to be able to say he got this job offer. Maybe it doesn't matter. It certainly doesn't matter to the home fan base when they just hear the rumors and they want the school to do anything in their power to keep him where he's at, right? I mean,
right.
To give him an extension or a bigger buyout or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that does add to the appeal. It adds to the appeal of recruits. You don't know who the hell these guys are, and then you find out that Penn State and Alabama wanted them, and you're like,
yeah, you get into that.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, these guys are
Ohio
good.
State offered?
Yeah.
It's good.
Everybody gets into that. I mean,
Right.
that's how you judge people that you're not that aware of, right? Who are they associated with?
Right.
Who else thinks highly of them? I mean, that carries a lot of weight, even though, you don't know the context of it. You don't know the first thing about it. But the truth is you don't really care to know the first thing about it. You want to know something little superficial that you can stick a thumbtack in and say, oh, okay, this is what kind of guy we're talking about here. But I don't know. I mean, if there are a lot of jobs open, really good jobs open this year. And I think Virginia Tech is smart to step up, and they see James Franklin. He's the guy they want. Get him now. Do it now, right? Don't wait, because there's a long line. A lot of these teams are having to wait on guys that are going to be in the college football playoff, and it's going to be a long wait for them and their fan base. But Matt Campbell appealing to the Penn State crowd, I still think that's a tough sell if I'm a Penn State fan.
And they want like Nick Saban or Urban Meyer.
Yeah. Yeah. Or somebody who's, got a team going to the college football playoff right now. And there are a number of coaches who are not locked into gigantic contracts.
People who know football, like Josh Pate, though, know how good Matt Campbell is. Jake Brenn, you follow Iowa State football very closely for Cyclone Fanatic. First of all, am I correct in that Matt Campbell does not have an agent?
As far as we know, he still doesn't. I know that's been the deal for his entire tenure. If he does have an agent, there's never been an announcement of it. So,
and usually it's the agent who goes out there and attaches the coach through a source or a contact in the media that say, hey, just want to let you know. Jim just got offered the USC job or whatever it is. That's how those kind of things go. And if Campbell doesn't have an agent, last we knew he did not, there's not somebody out there spreading that kind of word. But Matt has showed no signs that he wants that kind of word spread because he's been at Iowa State for 10 years, which is far more than most expected him to stay. Jake, don't you think The single biggest thought Matt Campbell has to have here moving forward, well, the single biggest one should be his family, and maybe that's why he stays in Ames. But professionally, his biggest thought is probably where the Big 12 stands as it aligns with the SEC and the Big 10.
Absolutely. And I think you see it right now with the Big 12 only having one team in the playoff. They're this close to being able to have 2 or 3, but that margin is so thin. And I think if you flipped BYU's resume right now with Notre Dame's probably in the top 5. If they've only got one loss and it's to Texas Tech, but that's not the case right now. It's flipped because of name brand. So it is an uphill climb for the Big 12. I guess for Campbell, what you have to weigh, of course, if it's Penn State, you're always going to have an into the playoff. But if you're in the Big 10 at Wisconsin, what's harder? Is it to finish in the top 4 of the Big 10, or is it to go win the Big 12? And I think that's a legitimate discussion, and I'm sure a thought that Campbell has in his head from time to time.
I think the financial resources, though, are what are really going to start to pull apart the conferences, because it's just such a difference in money. The media rights payout, the media rights is like double or more for the SEC and the Big 10, and that's going to start to have an increasing impact if things stay as they are now. Maybe they won't.
Well, yeah, as we all know, things change extremely quickly in college football, and it was less than a decade ago that the ACC signed what everyone thought was a genius media rights deal at the time, because it got all of their programs guaranteed money through 2036, and now it's the worst deal that's out there, and it could be the ultimate reason their conference crumbles in the next 5 years.
Well, the Big Ten is pausing the investment of private equity. They're willing to sell. It seems most of the schools were. Michigan and USC said they'd leave the Big Ten before they would do this deal, which was selling 10% of 20 years worth of media rights to a private equity firm for $2.4 billion. So an immediate, huge influx of cash, but at what cost? And it all seemed kind of rushed and hurried, as deals for money often do. But let's get a quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas, because Tony Petitti was the conference commissioner of the Big Ten. He's done some reported questionable things. Which of these of Petitti's ideas is the worst? The 2014 college football playoff that was floated this past weekend? College football play-in games instead of conference championship games? 10% of the Big Ten's future to private equity, or moving so many events to Las Vegas, which in no way reminds you of the Big Ten Conference? Andy, which of these is his worst idea?
It's between the last two, in my mind, the 10% of the Big Ten to private equity. I don't want to see that. Moving events to Las Vegas, which we've harped on and on about, how the best part of college football is, having the games on the campus in those stadiums. There should be more of that, not less. We already don't have enough of that. I would hate to see it all move to Las Vegas, and just, the last two, I just think just make it far more corporate, far more, profit centric, not just profit centric, but just profit drunk.
Yeah.
And
nonsensical greed.
The only one I think you could really sell me on is the college football playoff play-in games.
Same, because we're going to get an Indiana-Ohio State game where there will be questions raised whether they should even play their starters.
Play the game at all.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you're not going to play your starters, why play the game? So yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's hard because you know that college football is ripe for the picking, right? I mean, they're leaving money on the table. They can make more money out of college football, certainly out of the Big Ten and the SEC. It's something that has a lot of legs. It's got, it has one of the brightest futures of any television programming that's out there, we should just say broadcast programming. It is something that I don't think anybody could overspend on. If you can afford it, you could give them $1 trillion, and I think you would be okay. But it's just right for the picking. They're going to do something like this. I mean, it's too tempting to have that much money on the table and not eventually take it in some form.
I know. I think the answer to the quickie poll is the private equity. I understand, like the University of Iowa thinking, boy, all this money coming in, we could do so much with it. I get it, and it's only a 10% stake. But to Jake's point from earlier, things change so fast in 5 years.
Yeah.
To do it for 20 years when you don't know what's going to happen or what labor agreement changes or what guide rails are put in place for NIL and transfers, it just seems like you're giving up a lot. And some of your integrity to make a deal like that for state institutions. Lane Kiffin is living the dream. I get a kick out of Lane Kiffin. I think he's evolved and been a work in progress, and he's fun, and he's
just legitimately a good coach.
Yeah, a great coach and refreshingly candid. Doesn't use a lot of coach speak, kind of like a junior varsity Mike Leach. And he has the offers. He can go to Florida, he can go to LSU, or he can stay at Ole Miss. I mean, what a world to be in, because he's already in a great situation. He's going to be in the college football playoff this year with Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. They love him in Ole Miss. They're ready to build a statue to him at Ole Miss. Most of their double-digit win seasons are under Lane Kiffin the past 5 or 6 years. So he's got everything going for him, but LSU and Florida have this pull on him from jobs he thought he wanted when he was a kid or when he was younger. And his family has flown to both places in the past few days. Meantime, apparently Ole Miss has asked for an answer, not an ultimatum, but asked him to answer before the Egg Bowl next Friday. Are you staying or are you going? And that's such an interesting question on so many levels, because if he goes, technically the college football playoff committee could pull Ole Miss out of the playoff when it does its final rankings, the way they did with an undefeated Florida State, because they didn't have their starting quarterback. But Lane Kiffin...
And I don't know that that's unnecessarily unfair.
And I don't know why Lane Kiffin has to answer this now. This is so problematic that, I mean, Matt Campbell has it right that I'm not talking about any other jobs or any other openings until my season is over with. And in this case, his family's flying to Florida and LSU while they're in the middle of perhaps their greatest season in 60 years at Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. That seems wrong and insensitive. He can stop all this just by saying I'm staying at Ole Miss, but he hasn't done it yet. Maybe he will. Maybe he's waiting for even more money, but he's publicly said this is not about money. I don't need more money, but they're going to offer him more money to stay. So would you want your legacy, perhaps part of it at Ole Miss, to be caused his team to not be in the playoff because he left for LSU?
No, that Florida? Would be that would be terrible. It would be terrible.
I hope he stays at Ole Miss.
I mean, it's awfully difficult to preserve your legacy at any place, at any job you leave for someplace else. I mean, it's in this world it is. In the corporate world, I'm sure you can do it a lot easier. But I mean, you're talking about passionate fans who want you to stay, and you're dissing them. You know, you're letting them down. You're leaving. That just never really works out. You know, where fans say, "Oh, we'd like you to stay, but good for you. We understand taking more money." Even when they do say that, you know that they don't really mean that. They may sort of understand, but they don't want you to do it. They're not okay with it. But I don't know. I mean, I think that we're in an age right now where we could break the wheel a little bit. because you've got a situation like Lane Kiffin. You certainly have a situation like Kirk Cignetti. I mean, where you could have guys at schools that were not past football powers, win the national championship or be in the national championship. I mean, you could have that this season, and those schools file in money, and NIL obviously has tipped this scale a whole lot. But this could turn those schools into the perennial powers that, I mean, there's no real reason that LSU is a better job than Ole Miss. It has more history.
More fans at games, more NIL money.
Well, I mean, but for now, Louisiana is every bit as poor as Mississippi is,
except for football.
Well, yeah. I mean,
they got money for nothing but football there.
The people in the state. I mean, really, Mississippi State is a bigger player than anybody else. Than who would be Tulane would be the second biggest football power in Louisiana, but. I don't know. I mean, you're talking about history. Alabama, there's no money in Alabama except at Alabama football or Auburn football. But, I mean, really, there's no real reason why Ole Miss and Indiana can't be built into new football powers. I mean, that does happen. Florida State was nothing until Bobby Bowden got there. Kansas State was nothing until Bill Snyder got there. I mean, there's, those schools were raised up out of the ground by one great coach who decided to stay for a while, despite the fact that he got a bunch of offers elsewhere.
And now you can build it up faster, and it can fall apart faster, too, as we've seen at Wisconsin.
Now, I'm not saying that's the most realistic thing in the world, but, I mean, it is more possible now, I think, than it has been.
Arizona State quarterback Sam Leavitt, there are reports that his agent is shopping him. Now, Leavitt was in the playoff last season, one play away from the semifinals, won the Big 12 championship when Arizona State routed Iowa State. And this guy's beloved in Tempe. My son Colin goes to Arizona State. He texted me last night. He said, is this report true? I mean, he was like really upset about it. So, Jake, from Bigger Than 12 here, help us out with this. First of all, do your sources across the Big 12 conference say that this is real? And why would Sam Leavitt want to leave? Colin says he's well compensated there at Arizona State.
I don't know. It's bizarre. It sounds real. Like his agent is his brother. But
okay.
It sounds like his brother's a legit agent, not just, hey, this is my younger brother Sam. I'm going to be shopping him around. It seems like he comes from a real agency and all that.
It was the way you dropped that line was good effect on it. His agent is his brother.
His brother. Well, and Leavitt, maybe this is simply to see how much money is out there. I mean, say he's making $1 million or $2 million at Arizona State, something like Mark Gronowski type money. There might be he's good enough, healthy. There might be somebody willing to pay him 4 or 5.
Well, and it might be in the Big 12 conference from Texas Tech. If there's a team out there that
they've got the money,
they're going to need a quarterback next year maybe, and they have the money. I see it two ways, and the first way I think would be way more likely, and it's a leverage play that he is going out there and he's saying, "Oh, LSU offered me so-and-so $1 million. ASU, can you get me to half that? Can you get me to 75% that?"
That happened. We know that happened on the Iowa State basketball team.
And it wasn't as open that time. That's what I think is a little weird about this, but I think the best way, I guess, to get your true market value is to put yourself out on the market and say, what am I worth? That's what I would guess, but the wording of it was so bizarre. His return is doubtful. Yeah. That seems pretty damning to me. Like it doesn't feel like you can come back after that.
Well, and it made other dominoes fall because Kenny Dillingham, who's a Tempe guy, an Arizona State guy, and has said he's not going anywhere and it's his dream job, but he's a guy, if he gives even a hint that he's willing to listen to offers, suddenly Penn State is interested, Florida is interested, LSU's interested, whoever doesn't get Lane Kiffin would want Dillingham, but he has always said he's happy where he is, but this made people, you understandably speculate, is this a sign that Dillingham is open to leaving, or why would Levitt be leaving? Meantime, Dillingham talked to the business owners of Tempe in a moment this week.
Murph, I don't think I have that sound right now, but I can paraphrase for you.
Go ahead. Pretend you're Kenny Dillingham.
Oh, I don't do a good Dillingham. He does have a bit of a raspy voice, though. He essentially said the Arizona State football team is it's so important to the local businesses and the local
financially
economy that they should be sponsoring a player, naming a cheeseburger after like the Hoiberger back in the day or the Franwich at Applebee's.
He said $500 to $1,000 per business per player, and they would have more of what they need. And then he did state facts, which I think are backed up by Iowa City and Ames economies, of the impact winning football does have on the local economy.
Yeah, and Brent Bloom shared the similar statistic at Iowa State that if you look at what the local economy was during COVID compared to now, his example was, well, if you take out major college sports, which is what happened during COVID, it's cut into a quarter. And there's certainly a point. I don't know if having a grilled cheese at the local filling hole is going to keep Sam Levitt around, but it might keep a third string right tackle around. Who knows?
Could. Interact on YouTube. The email is Murph_Andy. It's at iowaeverywhere.com. On X, it's Murph_Andy, and it's all powered by the Cellular Advantage. U.S. Cellular, now owned by T-Mobile, so best of both worlds. Number one Iowa, number one in the USA. Iowa State's Gabe Burkle, the latest Cyclone, out for the season, left the TCU game with a leg injury, scheduled for surgery today. That might be complete by this point. This has Cyclone fans increasingly asking, what is going on with the injuries? Is it just coincidence, or is there more of a macro problem here? It's probably coincidence, but I understand why they're asking, because it's been 2 seasons of significant injuries.
Just one after another, and a lot of guys that, Cyclone fans knew really well. And you just, in positions where, some of the positions were ones that they couldn't afford to lose guys. And Gabe Burkle is a guy who's thrilled fans this year. I mean, he's a guy that he's really kind of everything you want in a college football player. And to lose him really stinks. And, they're losing a lot of these guys kind of early in the season. So, really, really missing these guys for a long time. So I felt bad about this. And when we saw him down, I just feel like every time you see somebody go down with Iowa State right now, it feels like they're going to be gone for the season. It's like, oh my gosh, how much more of this? It's never like, ironically, the most serious injury, or what it's looked like, was Ben Bramer, and he was back to practice on Monday.
Right. That is irony.
Yeah. So, it seems like any time other than Ben Bramer, when somebody goes down, you're just you're assuming they're gone for the season.
Let's bring in Jake one more time here. He's with Cyclone Fanatic and Bigger Than 12, so this is his area. Jake, how much questioning is there among the fan base of what's going on with these injuries? Everything from field to strength and conditioning.
I think it's the number one thing that I hear about right now from fans. Okay. I know there's some accounts on social media that are saying, like, I'm begging you again, Matt Campbell, please change your strength and conditioning staff. It's day 7 or something like that. And I think you're right, where the answer's somewhere always in the middle. And a little bit of insight, what was the biggest knock on Matt Campbell through his first 8 years? Oh, he couldn't beat Iowa, and they always started seasons slow.
And it's had some years of bad special teams play.
That too. What did he do to counter those slow starts? Well, they went harder in fall camp. They hit harder, and they made themselves ready for the start of that season. And that's been the last 2 years. I'm guessing there's some effects of you practice harder in August. There's probably some more lingering issues down the road. And
interestingly, fans have
trade-off.
Yeah, interestingly, fans have the same concern about the Cyclone men's basketball team. They sometimes feel like they practice and go so hard, is it taking a toll later in the season with fatigue? And that usually just depends whether the team's winning or losing if you feel like there's something wrong. We know how this goes. All right, good to have Jake with us, in for AD, who's on vacation. It is senior day Saturday for both Iowa and Iowa State, final home games of the season. It's always emotional, and Iowa State, here's Big Citrus and some other Cyclone seniors.
It's going to mean everything to me. It's the last time I'm ever going to be in front of Iowa State fans. Being able to hear the siren go off when we score a touchdown, it's going to mean everything. It's going to suck, of course, but at the end of the day, I'm glad of what I did here, what I was able to see and experience here.
Yeah, it was a great experience. It was definitely tough coming in. I feel like, with 1 year, you're almost on like a battle against time. But I feel like it was a great experience and helped me learn a lot of things about myself, and being able to contribute to this team was very big to me.
It'll be a weird feeling, coming back here in the future on the other side of it, but, just a grateful opportunity that I've received to even be able to run out of the tunnel. So just understanding, I take it all in for sure.
Yeah, so that's going to be – that's always – Matt Campbell's always at the start of that tunnel, and, boy, it's a lot of tears are usually shed before the game. This year, better time, 11 a.m., day game, makes sense. I was at that final senior day game last year against Kansas State. It was 13 degrees. Yeah. It was miserable night game, so damn cold.
We're talking about that with Ed last night. We haven't really had a game like that where it's been really uncomfortable. Iowa fans had to stand in the rain against Oregon. That definitely wasn't fun. But for the most part, there has not been a freeze out. Seems like we always see one of those in November, especially in Ames. It's been pretty good, though. But, yeah, it's funny. College football has changed in the way that, a lot of, there's always been, or for a long time, there's been the situation where, somebody who's really good enough for the NFL will leave school a year early and they'll come out. But now, guys transfer so much that it's a more special thing. Once again, it used to be, it was always special, but it's a little bit more special now to have a guy in his senior season who's played there for a while and been a good player.
For sure.
And stayed, and the fans have gotten to know him, and he's really gotten attached to the school and has made a lot of friends there, and his parents have, come to the school a whole bunch of times, and it's developed into a tradition. And to have a senior day for them, I think it's a little bit more special now. But the other thing that kind of comes to mind is, I can't count the number of really good players for both Iowa and Iowa State that I've just forgotten about after they've left, right? And then somebody mentions their name and I have to go, oh yeah. Yeah. And you got to kind of go back and maybe look at some old highlights or look up their stats. Oh yeah, that's right. And you forget, right? And I think when you're Dominic Orange, he probably thinks that nobody is ever going to forget him. And we're all in that position at one point. You're just like, oh gosh, I made such an impact here. Nobody's going to forget. But you forget how big the world is and how life just rolls on.
Sure.
And people will forget. And it'll be a few years that he'll come back and people will be like, oh, right.
Big Citrus.
Yeah, Big Citrus is what they called him. That's Reeves' defensive tackle. That's right. So this is a really big day. It's a really big deal. And, kids should listen to their parents when they tell them stuff like, look, man, you got to go out there and just take it all in because this is a fleeting moment.
Boy, it is. Iowa's game with Michigan State is now sold out. 2:35 kick.
Beautiful. It's supposed to be really nice weather there. It's been a fun season.
And one final swarm for the seniors.
When you're walking through the tunnel, you start hearing the Back in Black coming in, the music playing. It gets all the juices flowing. It gets a ton of different emotions that are going, and it's just always fun to go out there and just you're running out there with your brothers out there, so it's a lot of fun.
The swarm is something that that's the coolest part for me being here is running out on the swarm in Kinnick. on the home games. That's got to be the coolest thing.
Yeah, it was pretty surreal the first time running out there, and I mean, just not even just as a football player, as a person as well, the growth that I've seen myself and others make here. It's just been a super special time, and can't wait to go out there with the guys.
Yeah, you grow up, watching it on TV and even coming to the games and stuff, and you're dreaming about one day being in their shoes, and to be able to fulfill that, it's been awesome.
Thank you for the video, John Sears and David Warrington of WHO 13 Sports. Confluence, official beer of Murph and Andy. Confluence Brewing. Taste, quality, craftsmanship. Jake, is that a sound effect, or are you pouring yourself a beer? I mean, your schedule, you do whatever the hell you want, right? Yeah, we can't hear you. It's probably better off.
I've still got the beat reporters with Cyclone Fanatic after this, but otherwise.
But but it's Cyclone Fanatic. You do what you want, right? There's no.
It's a miracle that C-Dub still lets Aiden work for him. It's kind of a requirement. Like, yeah, you got to have a beer every show. That's why Bigger Than 12 is doing so well, because Derek Duke has like 9 of them each show.
Hey, Bigger Than 12, of the 12, Bigger Than 12, so of the 16 schools, 16, right? Big 12, no, 16. Of the 16 schools outside of Iowa State, what fan base do you hear from the most, and what fan base do you hear from the least?
I'd say for Bigger Than 12 specifically, we've actually hit a pretty big Big 12 audience. We hear a lot from BYU fans in a good way. Like, they're always very complimentary of the show. It's like anytime we have BYU in the thumbnail or the title,
it's like being at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it is. We'll get a bunch of comments from them. Texas Tech too, they're pretty rampant. And then on Twitter, the most I hear from is easily K-State fans. It doesn't take much at all.
Is that all positive?
Rarely positive. Yeah. Rarely.
All right, let's get some more here as Andy takes over the show with the Moore team, and Jake and I just sit back in awe.
That's right.
But wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
You got to get a load of Either Or these days. It is all decked out for the holidays. Call it tinsel now until the beginning of the new year, all dressed up. Vintage holiday decor, floor to ceiling, inside and outside. You'll notice just driving by at 6222 Grand Avenue, it's all dressed up for the holidays. They do book up on the weekends, Fridays and Saturdays. This is going to be a really big one, but if you get there early and you're just patient, it's worth it. All sorts of great places to take pictures in there. It's a really cool place this time of the year. Allegiant Air has added a couple of nonstop flights out of the Des Moines International Airport. They are to Philadelphia and Burbank, California.
I didn't see Burbank, California coming. That reminds me of my childhood and the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, because it was.
Yeah. It's basically Burbank / Hollywood. I would like to do a story sometime on how Allegiant picks its new nonstop routes out of Des Moines, because
I'd watch that.
I'd
like to know.
They seem random to me.
They go to smaller cities generally, like an Austin, Texas, or a Fort Lauderdale. But then there's Philadelphia.
Yeah, and sometimes they go to this is an LAX that they're going to, but it's still Los Angeles, basically. So, I mean, you understand it's service to a different airport. I get that. But, I mean, is there a demand out of Des Moines
for Burbank
to go to Hollywood, to go to Burbank? I mean, is that how they decide that? I
don't know.
Is there a bit of randomness to the whole thing? I mean, I wouldn't think so.
We took the Allegiant flight to Palm Springs a couple of times in California, and it was nice. You're there by like 9 a.m. with the time change.
That's not running anymore.
That doesn't run anymore. So I guess enough of us didn't take it. Have they decided on these Philadelphia and Burbank trips, will the passengers have to take a shift flying the plane?
Yeah, they are. They do have a pilot, like an informational strike going on right now. It hasn't really come to a head yet. They protested in Des Moines yesterday, but there were no Allegiant flights affected because there aren't any scheduled on Tuesday right now. So, I don't know. Allegiant is always a bit of an adventure. You always come away with some good material after you take an Allegiant flight. But we do appreciate the fact that
I
you can
do.
fly direct. It's a pain in the ass to have to connect everywhere out of Des Moines.
And it's risky. It has risk involved in missing your connecting flight.
There's just something like wrong about taking a flight to San Francisco from Des Moines through Detroit.
Or Dallas.
Or Chicago, or even Minneapolis. You're just like, yeah, I'm going to Florida through Minneapolis. And you're like, what? That's the wrong way. And you're sitting on the plane that much longer. I mean, it just drives you nuts. So if you have a direct flight, man, great. It's like such a luxury. I know everybody else in the bigger cities, they're just like, what? You think that's a big deal?
The hard part is if you do have to go up to Minneapolis, and we often do, when you fly over Des Moines. And then, you got to go there, land for a couple
We're flying
hours.
over Des Moines, Iowa right now. If you look down,
give me a
see
parachute.
the principal building.
Give me a parachute in my bag. I'll jump.
Yeah, could you slow down just a little bit so I can get out? I've done that where I remember, I think a couple of different occasions. I've flown to Minneapolis and the flight to Des Moines was canceled or delayed out the yin yang, so I had to rent a car and then drive back.
We've done that. Yeah, beat the airplane back.
Anyway, I digress. 104.1 FM, whatever that radio station is called, is making its switch to nothing but Christmas music this Friday, which I think that used to be Andrew's. That was his cue to enter the Christmas season and decorate his house. I think he's now just jumped all the way to November 1st, but
yeah, he's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is ridiculous. But yeah, it's. I don't really listen to terrestrial radio at all anymore. I can't really remember the last time I did, but that is kind of a big deal, right? I mean, it tells you that that's the start of the season when that one radio station starts playing Christmas music.
Well, either or's got the displays up. I guess it's time for some people.
Yeah, well, one more sign. Did you see that, the sportswear brand Champion?
Oh, yeah. Big staple of my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
Inexpensive,
you get it everywhere.
too.
Get it at Walmart. Yeah, Walmart has a lot of Champion stuff. It is releasing a line of fragrances.
What? Smells like a
Yeah,
dirty sneaker?
Right. They've got a number of fragrances that are out right now. There's a whole line of them. They're not releasing them, but some of it got leaked, and the Moore team dug them up. Gym socks is one. Hockey glove.
That's a really bad smell.
That's
a bad one. Hockey glove.
Yeah, hockey glove is terrible. Yeah, Uncle Carl's Crocs.
Oh, yeah. And Uncle Carl is known to not wear socks, right? So it's
he didn't wear socks in those things.
It's foot sweat, just
wears them all the
squishing
time.
in there.
Yeah,
Got a mild case of diabetes.
Here's one: a fraternity house on Saturday morning.
Oh, spit cups. Spilled beer.
Spilled, stale, nasty
some
beer.
ashes from somebody smoking that wasn't supposed to be.
Right. And finally, teenage boy's basement bedroom. The town of Utqiagvik, Alaska.
No way it's pronounced like that.
I'm phonetically sounding it out.
Jesus.
Way up north in Alaska. It just saw its last bit of sun yesterday for 67 days. Sunset,
goodness.
and that's it. They've entered the polar night, what's called the polar night. Sun does not rise for them. It continues to rise. They just don't see it. They're too far north. Can you imagine?
I can't. This looks like the setting for The True Detective with Jodie Foster. They were in some Alaskan town that just had no light.
When I was in Norway over the summer and on the show with you guys, and I was telling you how crazy it was that the sun rose at 2:30 in the morning, I think, and it didn't set until after 11 at night. And, they're in this kind of same situation here, although they're still south of the Arctic Circle, but just so dark. And when we had Johnny, the bartender, on, and he was talking. We were like, "Does that affect you when it's that dark?" And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely, it does. I mean, it affects your mood, it affects your skin. You don't get like the vitamin D and stuff. They have special light centers that you can go and sit in for a while?
I have one at home here. I don't know how
Does that
effective
help?
it is, but in my mind, it helps on days like this.
That survived the move?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did not
Survive. It survived the thin.
It made the cut.
That made the cut. The Jenny cut. A Japanese company is selling bear attack shelters.
I'm sorry.
Which sounds like a gimmick, but the country
needed.
has seen a record number of bear incidents this year, and in all 9 people have been killed by bears this year, which is the most ever. Which Japan, I don't think of that as a country that has a lot of bears, but they do. The shelter is called the Kumakan, or bear container. That's the outside. Here's the inside. It looks kind of nice. Look at the bear looking in there. You got a shitter right there in the middle. It's a redesigned shipping container strong enough to withstand bear attacks for up to 3 days. Apparently, if the bear attacks on the 4th day, that thing is
coming down.
Yeah, but that
Then you have to
thing's
get out the bear spritzer.
pretty well stocked, although that food looks like just water. I mean, put some bourbon in there or something at least. Make it interesting, right?
Yeah. Is the toilet made of cardboard?
Yeah, or some kind of plywood. It doesn't look like a real sturdy unit, does it?
It looks like a fraternity house toilet.
Yeah, you don't want Cousin Mike sitting on that one after Thanksgiving, for sure. From Facebook, I enjoyed this one today, and it says, "Dear Black Friday, we all have big TVs. Put brisket on sale."
It's good.
From Twitter, Murph and I like this one too today. Things to settle before you marry her. 1, core values. 2, religion. 3, finances. 4, how to raise the kids. 5, does her bitch-ass family run a 5K Thanksgiving morning? And I'm joking around about this with neighborhood friends today, and I forgot. I mean, I didn't write this. I just thought it was funny. I forgot that Des Moines has that turkey trot.
Right. One of your
Which,
neighbors
like-
probably runs it.
Yeah, a whole bunch of them said they were running it. Well, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you participate in that?
Need
I'm
to
sure
run the
it's
day after
charity or
Thanksgiving.
something. What are you doing? Is that a carrot in front of the nose? Is that why you do the turkey trot? So you feel better about gorging yourself? Like, hey, I got my workout in today. Also, doesn't that ruin the greatest night of drinking of the year? Blackout
Drunksgiving?
Wednesday. You drunksgiving, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Doesn't that ruin that? I mean, you can't be doing that if you're going on that turkey tip.
I can't. No.
You can't do that. All right. We'll finish with this. Along those same lines, from Talker, we bring you this. Top questions people don't want to be asked this holiday season.
Okay.
Do you have a girlfriend? Let's say you're at a gathering, family gathering. People don't want to hear these questions. Do you
The
have a
answer is
girlfriend?
no.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No. And that's
Because
all
it doesn't end with that. Even if it does end with that, that doesn't sound good. Because maybe say yeah, and then you don't give details. Well, why isn't she here?
Is that the turkey trot?
So when are you going to lose those holiday pounds? Nobody asked that question. Are they that bad? They wouldn't ask that. Who did you vote for? Yeah, that doesn't go anywhere good. What did you do to your hair?
Just aged.
Right, because no matter how you feel about your hair,
Yeah.
that's not a good. You don't want to hear that question. When do you think you'll go back to work? Why won't you go to church with us? More questions you don't want to hear on this holiday season. How's your diet going?
Yeah.
Is
Are
that
you on Ozempic?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you on Ozempic? That should be that makes it more topical. That should be on the list. Is that mole on your face getting bigger?
Oh, here's a quarter. Get a rat to gnaw that mole off your face.
When are you getting married, or when are you having kids? Seems like an innocuous question, right? That grandparents ask or whatever. It's just a tough one. And then finally, this could be the big one. Can I borrow some money?
Oh. Take the air right out of the room.
Yeah. You certainly don't want to hear that in public or private. That's your more, everybody.
Speakpipe.com/Murph _Andy is where you can leave a rant anytime, day or night. What's bugging you anytime? Presented by Consumer Credit. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the point where it is time for Mike Woody, also known as Mr. Movie.
It's time to go to the movies with Mr. Movie, Mike Woody, presented by P&P Small Engines.
Hey, there he is.
I was at P&P Small Engines today.
I don't doubt it.
Do you think Jeff is anywhere to be found?
Yes.
He should be. He should be very busy right now.
He usually is there.
He wasn't even in the building.
Training his wrestlers down at PCM.
That is probably what he's doing. Probably
Or home
wrestling.
taking a nap.
Yeah, that could be too.
I'm using my P&P stuff so much right now, just every weekly leaf duty. The lawn tractor and the blower, all that stuff. It is being pushed
Mr.
to the
Movie,
max.
did you hear about my ingenious plan for leaves?
No, I didn't.
We moved.
He moved away from them.
Yeah, it worked out well. All right, so Jake Brand is in for Andrew Downs today. Jake is a huge moviegoer, so I'm sure he's excited to be here with Mr. Movie himself.
Well,
Mr. Movie debut.
Yeah.
All right, so Jake, do you have the one word? Do you have audio of each word?
I do.
Okay, so
I've got
I'll go
a
to you for
picture.
a cue.
I've got a picture and I've got audio. So
Excellent.
You can start us off, Murph.
So our out-of-the-box topic is one word delivered well in a movie. And if you're in the comments, tell us what your choice is. Just one word, like Streetcar Named Desire, Stella. Just one word delivered well in a movie. And here's my one-word choice. Bueller. I mean, it's just one word, but the impact this had on my life, just the amount of times I've repeated this in various situations, that I've heard it in various situations, that if somebody's boring or you're taking attendance, I mean, the delivery of Bueller just
made Ben Stein a star.
It did. And we'd probably be surprised how young he is. He's probably in his 30s, maybe in this movie, or early 40s. But yeah, Bueller, that's going to be my choice. Andy?
This one is from kind of that same era. It's Ogre in Revenge of the Nerds. Nerd! he says it repeatedly, but
he does. Yeah, like Bueller, it gets repeated.
Yeah. At one point, he's hanging somebody off the balcony of the fraternity house, and he just notices them in the background. And he's like, nerds.
Mr. Movie.
I'm going to go, there's so many good ones. I'm sitting here watching the show, getting ready to get on, and I'm not going to say what they are because they could come up later, but I'm going to doubt it. They're Rocky, great movie, poor schlump who's not going anywhere in life, finally gets in the ring and becomes the champion of the world. And what does he say? Adrian!
That's a great scene. One minor
moaning
correction. He loses the fight.
Yeah.
But he goes the distance.
See, I can't keep the different parts.
He will end up becoming champion of the world.
He does speak to her again at the end of Rocky 2 when he gets up first and wins the fight. He was like, I want to say something to my wife at home. Adrian! I did it! Oh, man. Goosebumps.
That's right. When his mobster friend also asked him, like, hey, Rock, you should invest in condos. Condos?
I don't use it.
I don't use it. and then she's pregnant. So it all comes together. That's a good choice there, Mr. Movie. That's a great scene, though, because everything's going on. It's complete chaos around him, and he's just thinking about this shy, lonely woman he loves. I love that scene. Good choice. All right, young man. Jake Brend, what do you have?
You mentioned mob movies, and my favorite movie of all time is a mob movie. And my word comes after Jimmy the Gent Conway pulls off the most famous heist in American history at the time, the Lufthansa heist. Mm-hmm. And Henry Hill is in the shower when he finds out via the radio.
That Ray Liotta delivery.
Jimmy!
Yeah, that doesn't end up working out so well for any of those guys. But at the moment, it was great.
Some choices over here from our listeners. A lot of freedom.
There was a good one. Forever. Yeah, Con. Man, how bad was it? What did Star Trek feel like when Star Wars came around? I mean, that was just instantly way better. The special effects in Star Trek were just shit. The moment that Star Wars came out, they're like, oh, man. We got to do. I can't believe they weren't just like, we got to quit. We got to do something else.
Let's stop. Well, they upped it.
Even like Wrath of Khan. You remember like Wrath of Khan? Remember Ricardo Montalban? They like made him into He-Man. The guy had pecs so big he almost needed a bra for him.
Yeah, he had latex pecs.
Ricardo Montalban's like 68 years old when he's doing that movie. And the guy's just ripped like Schwarzenegger in his prime.
Oh, here's a good one. Red Rum. That's murder backwards, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some movies here with Mr. Movie. Weekend box office. Now You See Me, Now You Don't is the winner at 21 million, or had the most box office. Running Man finishes second at 17 million. Predator Badlands, which Mr. Movie surprised us by liking last week, in third place. So Now You See Me, Now You Don't. This has become kind of an unlikely franchise. Illusion is kind of at the heart of this. Mike, what'd you think of it?
Well, it's just a bunch of magicians to get together to do nefarious things. I loved the first one. The second one was okay. The third one was unnecessary. It's not funny. The magic, if there is magic, sucks. And I sat there thinking,
sucks.
Well, it did. It just, those first two movies were so clever and so fun. And then to come out of the chute with this, it's a good, solid C-. And nobody knows C- is better than I do. Trust me.
I've seen your transcripts. So the Running Man is something I'm hoping that you say is good, because I'm a Glenn Powell fan. I've been watching most of what he does. I surprisingly like Chad Powers. It kept getting better each week. This is a remake of the Schwarzenegger movie, which I think was imitated by many different movies and genres over the years, where one person has to try to stay alive to win the game. So how is this?
I loved it.
Really?
Absolutely loved it. Glenn Powell is perfect in this role, and it's everything you want it to be. And I can't, because it's kind of like the Magician movie. I don't want to give you a whole lot away. I can tell you that Edgar Wright, who gave us Baby Driver, one of my favorite movies, is in rare form here, and he delivers the goods from the start to the finish. Josh Brolin is the bad guy. I don't know if he had to check with Miss Streisand if that was okay, but he's a good bad guy as well. And it's really entertaining.
Who does the Richard Dawson part from the original Running Man? The host.
The Richard Dawson part is, I don't know.
Just the game show host. Would be what Richard Dawson was in the.
Yeah,
so this sounds like an A, maybe.
It's an A-. It just goes a little too far, but it is super entertaining. And
Glad to hear that.
You can catch it in the IMAX. Ooh, boy.
That's the way to see it.
Yeah.
Opening this weekend, Rental Family. That's Brendan Fraser movie.
Brendan Fraser.
with good buzz.
Yeah, really good buzz. I think he's in Japan, so he's out of his element. That's about all I want to know going in.
Sisu Revenge. I saw the original Sisu movie. It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie on steroids. It's bonkers.
Yeah. I talked to a guy who saw this the other day and said it's really good if you're a Sisu fan.
The first one was good, but you have to know it's as violent as a movie can possibly be. And finally, what is Jay Kelly?
Jay Kelly opens this week. It's got a guy in it. Last name's Clooney.
First name George.
Yeah. And then Adam Sandler's in it.
Really?
What has happened to George Clooney? He's making movies with Adam Sandler.
Come on, Adam Sandler can act. You saw it. You saw it, Uncut Gems or Punch Drunk Love?
I saw both of them, yes, and he can act.
All right, there you go.
But he can act badly too sometimes.
Yeah, he can.
So no, you're starting to see the holiday movies, and there's another movie coming out. I don't know if you've heard much of it. Wicked for Good.
Wicked for Good.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard much of that. It's some green people running around in it, flying broomsticks, apes.
So related to the other Wicked.
Yeah, I haven't seen Wicked, so I don't think I'll see Wicked Good, but I know you will.
They'll be flying around my house, I'm sure.
It'll be there's going to be a Brinks truck just backed up into the lobby. Oh, yeah. Just taking money from
Tons
people.
Of money.
That's not a lie. All right, thank you, Mr. Movie. Enjoy the movies.
See you next week.
Mr. Movie presented by P&P Small Engines. And time now for Throwdowns with Jake Brend.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Throwdowns is brought to you as always by Heartland Tire and Auto Center, treating you like family in Ankeny, Waukee, Knoxville, Boone, and Creston, especially if your name is Cade Murphy, because you're there all the time.
This sounds like a joke. I think he's there now.
That would make sense.
Cade has bought his own car. He's a young guy. We all remember our first cars. They needed a little help. Fortunately, he has got a place like Heartland Tire and Auto that can keep that
car on the road.
Not so great car on the road. Yeah.
All right, let's throw it down, guys. 3 questions for you. 2 players from the state of Iowa are on the preseason Wooden Award watch list, both point guards. If you're taking over a college basketball team today for the rest of the year, and you get Taman Lipsey or Bennett Sturts for one season, who are you taking?
Whew. That's a really good question because they're both on the list for a reason. They're great, and I'm a big fan of Taman Lipsey's style of play. He plays so hard, he can do everything. But if I have one season, I'm taking Bennett Sturts just because he is elite, maybe the best person in college basketball at controlling the pace of the game. He has a cerebral element to his game that it's hard to comprehend. There's a reason they're shooting over 50% in every half because he just controls it down to where he manipulates the shot clock to take the shot exactly when they want. So can't go wrong with either of these guys, but I'd take Sturts.
I do the same thing just strictly on my Drake bias at this point. I mean, Taman Lipsey has been doing this at a much higher level for a much longer time. He's seen far greater competition. But when you've seen Bennett Sturts playing the top teams on Drake's schedule, he was at his best, and he always looked unflappable. And I don't think you have to be a flashy point guard in college basketball to be a great point guard. And I think you're going to see that he's going to be able to do it at the Big Ten level all year.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's Sturts. Coming into the year, I think the gap was even wider, though, on who you take. And I think Lipsey's made that question a little
He's
bit
been
closer
really
to start
good.
the year.
Yeah, he's been great. When he's healthy, we see how good he is. He's played through so many injuries, some of which people weren't even aware.
Yeah, TJ Altenberger laid out all of his injuries after the game on Monday that he dealt with last year, and he said he doesn't know a player that would play through one of them, let alone 3 at a time, which is what
he's
Lipsey
tough.
did last
No one
year.
questions his toughness.
In Patrick Mahomes' first 7 years as a starting quarterback in the NFL, he's led the Chiefs to the AFC Championship all 7 times. Right now, Kansas City sits in 9th place of the AFC, but still hold the 5th best odds to win the Super Bowl. If you had to bet your mortgage, or bet your house, as Scott Sipker would say, would you bet it on the Chiefs being back in the AFC Championship or missing it?
Missing it.
I think I would bet on them. This is not winning the Super Bowl. This is just getting to the AFC Championship game. This is getting to the Final Four. The Final Two in the AFC, obviously, but I'm not counting them out at this point. I feel like just betting against them means I'm going to be wrong. So I'm gonna bet my mortgage very irresponsibly. By the way, horribly irresponsible move there, but.
Thanks for making Andy nervous all day. Now he's got to worry about his damn mortgage.
Would bet on the Chiefs being one of those two teams in the AFC.
I'm with you, Andy. Until they prove me otherwise, it's got to be Kansas City. And finally, I brought it up in Mr. Movie. Martin Scorsese, my favorite director, turned 83 this week and now has a new 5-part documentary out on Apple TV. I'm 2 episodes in. Of his dozens of films, what is your favorite Scorsese film?
Man. I don't think it's near his best film, but I think the one I enjoyed the most was The Departed. Just the multiple storylines, the acting in it, the people in it. It's not his best movie. And Raging Bull is a masterpiece that I don't enjoy watching.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Some of his movies are like that. They're disturbing to the point
Taxi
where
Driver.
I don't want to see it over and over again. But The Departed has just such a nice finish to it where everybody kind of gets what he or she deserves, with one exception. I'll go Departed.
I'll do the uninspired pick and take Goodfellas. I mean, it's just one of those movies that
it's great.
Anytime it's on, I'm in for the duration, or at least have to tear myself away from it eventually. But yeah, it's so good. It's one of those rare movies that just kind of keeps getting a little bit better through the years somehow. Not really sure how that is, but yeah, I'll take Goodfellas.
Thanks, Jake. Nice job.
Thank you. I'm with you, Andy. Goodfellas. Goodfellas for the win.
Well, it's fun hanging out with you today, Jake. We appreciate it. Appreciate the deep bench we have here at Iowa Everywhere.
He's not done yet. The Andrew Downs audio drop of the day is called the AD Squared, but Jake gets to pick today, brought to you by Game Day Men's Health.
Yeah, Game Day Men's Health. It's been well noted that it's changed Chris Williams' life. I know Andy's on it. You can just tell. Somehow it made Andy Fales look even better. Which
that's
they
really
should put
nice.
that on a billboard.
I will say that it definitely makes me feel better.
I'm going to get on it by tomorrow, I guess. Jeez.
Yeah, you look good too.
Yeah, thanks.
Today's AD Squared. Mike Gundy was fired. Man, it seems like years ago. How long this college football season has felt for those
like 10 coaches ago
that cover Iowa State. Mike Gundy has not really made any public appearances since he got fired. He, of course, put out the statement. That is until yesterday, and he's in Oklahoma State gear, but he's not talking about the football team.
Oklahoma State fans, I'm hearing we're a hockey school now. How about that? Oklahoma State hockey. You guys better get your tickets right now to Bedlam, February 28th. I need to come see that myself. I'm excited. I like me some hockey. I'm fired up. Go Pokes hockey. I love that.
He looks like he's wearing one of those novelty hats where it's fake hair coming out of the visor. And he breaks his silence to promote hockey in Oklahoma?
So he hit his head or something?
So in my small amounts of reading, I think he's on Cameo. So I believe the Oklahoma State hockey program paid for a Mike Gundy promo on Cameo, and you can tell he's reading off of his phone.
He's really putting his heart and soul into it. Yeah.
Go Pokes.
Just get the shot right up his nose.
Hockey.
Go Pokes, and there's birds chirping in the background.
Crows and brick.
All right, Quickie Poll results presented by WCI Pools and Spas.
Yeah, quickie poll. Which of Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti's reported ideas is the worst? Big Ten sending 10% of profits to private equity. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's close enough.
51% say that's the worst idea. That's probably my least favorite. Second, though, is the 24-team college football playoff. That's the choice of 24%. That's way too many teams.
That's too many
damn
yeah.
teams. And the moving events to Las Vegas, 19%. Only 8% say the worst idea is the college football playoff play-in games.
I think that shows you that maybe he's on to something there, that people are ready to get rid of these conference championship games.
Sometimes that's how you do it, right? You throw a whole bunch of noodles at the wall and see which one sticks.
Thank you for being part of Murph and Andy here on a Wednesday. We appreciate you. Appreciate Jake Bren sitting in for Andrew Downs. Don't forget two guys, Chris and Chris. That's live tonight, right? Anybody have confirmation on that? They're live tonight? They're back on the regular schedule?
They should be, unless there's something
7?
we don't know. Yep, 7 o'clock on YouTube, wherever you consume Iowa, everywhere.
Unless Hassel has some neighbors coming over to visit. Or swim in his pool.
Or his wife, Kristen, has a show she's got to watch tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Wants her to
Mormon
be quiet.
housewives or something. All right, hey, keep the good times rolling and easy by liking and subscribing. We're back Friday. We hope you are too.